Hi, it's Becky. And I have a small project today that I thought I would share with you guys, and that is to get the paints in this box into these palettes. Um, these are just some palettes that I got off Amazon. They're Meeden 18 well palettes. How do I open these? Hold on. And I got two of them because there's 18 wells in here and there are 36 paints in here. So I can have paint in both of these. Here we go. That, and I think this is a good size for a palette. Let's see. Good size pans, especially for working here at my desk. So I could have them next to me like this. I can have them side by side, like have them above my work like this and be working portrait wise. I think it'd be really useful for something to paint from while I am sitting at my desk and at my table. Studio palettes. Just have to figure out how I want them and then start pouring. So that's what we're doing today. We are filling these palettes. Let me with these paints. And these are the newest iteration of the Paul Rubens watercolors. I think this is generation 4 or something. I'm very excited about it because from what it looked like, they have only improved their formula, which is fantastic because I already love Paul Rubens paints. In fact, I have 24 color 10 that I use fairly frequently. This is a lot cleaner than it was. I actually pulled each of these out and cleaned them off because they were completely stuck to the tin and it was a real mess, but I used them because I love to paint with Paul Rubens paints. I also have the Brights, their opera series. They do not look as bright on camera, but believe me, they are super bright. They're like fluorescent. And they are really, really pretty and to paint with. They are a lot of fun. Then I also have these in this tin that I poured myself. I made one for me and one for my sister out of a 36 pack, and this is what I have left. But I'm going to pour myself a studio set with the new Paul Rubens. So let me get this open and we'll get this started. I've got some, what are these things called? The pointy things. Toothpicks. That's what they are called. I've got some toothpicks. I'm going to put this away because I do not need that. Got some paper towels. I've got some water for rinsing things, and I'm just going to get this poured and figure out where I want each of my colors to be. So let's figure out color placement. And then, since I am still very new to doing these videos, I think I may try my hand at editing by speeding up the actual pouring of these and like have some relaxing music play or something like that. I don't know if that's something that you would enjoy, but I usually enjoy it when other people do that. So something that I can contribute to. All right. Color reference. It's a little muted here, but we'll find out when I swatch. I'm going to wait until they dry down to swatch because I like to swatch from dry. Because that gives me a better, because I paint from dry. I don't paint from the tubes. So swatching from the tubes doesn't tell me how this paint will behave. It just doesn't. And so I'm going to get these out and figure out where I want to place them in my palette. I'm thinking like a cool and a warm. So maybe we just start with this and do warm on this side. Hold on. Do this quinacridone violet on this end. Diaxazine violet here. Now, when they're right next to each other, brilliant blue violet. And then French blue is going to be this ultramarine. Indigo. Berlin blue. Azure blue. Move you over here. I'm just going to do warm. I guess the cools first. Greens. Mantle green. Oh, what about indigo? Maybe indigo is going to be over here. I don't know. Let's get a brown umber. That's a warm, I think. It's going to be tricky. It's tricky. Cobalt turquoise. That's going to be over here. Probably there. And then sap green, May green, olive green. I've got black here. Indigo. So this brown umber is going to need to come over here on this side. Okay, so that's going to be my cool colors. Cool, baby. All right. I'm going to move this out of the way while I get the other ones sorted. That's the order that will be in. For this one, start on the purpley end. Down maroon. Just do it in that order, the order that they're in the in here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that one. We go here. 3. Okay, so this was the way to go with this. And we will have a cool and warm palette. All right. Okay, I'm kind of happy with that placement. One of the things that I am going to do before I get started on actually doing this is, now that I've got somewhat of an order, I'm going to label the edges of this. I'm going to do that with some tape. This tape is crap for taping down my paintings. It's really terrible. It always tears them, but it's got a decent adhesive, which is why it's crap for taping down my paintings. So I am going to put the tape along the outside of the edge here, and I'm going to write my colors on it. I'm also going to, when I do my swatching, I'm going to do a little chart that tells me where and which colors are what. Because just because we are artists doesn't mean we can't be organized. Sorry, I'm doing this off screen because it's just a lot easier for me to do it where I can like actually hold it and not have it be right there. Okay. This will probably come off eventually, but for now, it'll do. And also, if I change stuff, I can always take the tape off and put something else on there. So let's get this in order. Start with this one. And it is Naples Yellow, B229. And it looks like pigment colors, PW6, PY53, and PBR24. So, Naples Yellow. PW6, PY53, and PBR24. Well, you know what? Let's just chat while I fill these up. We don't need to speed this up and do all that. I'm just going to be putting paint in some walls. And I will, actually. Ooh, that flows really well. I like that. All right. I don't even have to spread that out to the edges, do I? I don't need a toothpick for that. That settled very nicely. Really nicely right there into that wall. All right. Means I'm not going to want to tip this for writing my other things. Lemon yellow. You know what? I can write pigment stuff I after these dry down. So I'm just going to write the name of the color right here. Lemon yellow. Love pink. This also flows pretty well. Got inner corners. Oh, it's yellow. Oh, I'm gonna put these back in the box when I'm finished filling them. Next is cadmium yellow light. Looks like that is single pigment. I think out of all of these 36, like most of them are single pigment except for I think 6 of them. It's pretty nice. This is PY 35 on that. Can you see it? And this one's a little bit thicker than the first two. Extra viscosity. Two yellows. All right, next is cadmium yellow medium. Say. There's also PY 35. And consistency is much thicker with this one. I would like to open these again. Just spread corners. I don't know if you guys can hear my dog barking. She's just making noises at the door. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go see what she's barking at. Okay, I'm back. And it was just Natalie. She likes to bark at things outside of the door. And so I usually have to open the door and show her that there is nothing happening out there. There's just nothing happening. And that's what I do. I'm like, look, nothing's going on. You don't really need to be barking at things. Why are you like this? Anyway, let's get this one going. This is Indian yellow. That is a little on the full side. Like that whole cap was just full. All right, I'm gonna need to clean this off. It's water. Set you over there. I'm going to get as much of this out as I can. Full of paint. If I was to swatch out before it dries down, I'd be pulling paint out of that cap to do it with my brush. Stop barking! Everything's fine. I think my neighbors are talking to somebody in their front yard. They're allowed to do that because it's their yard. And that's what she's barking about. He just doesn't understand these things. And that's okay. Right. Now we can close this. That one was just a little messy. That's okay, because we've seen messy paint caps before. I just really would like to be able to open this again at some point in the future, and it is still an absolute mess. That's going to have to do. All right, so Indian yellow. Now we're rounding the corner. This is not going to take us that long. Earth yellow, PY42. This is like yellow ochre. It looks super yellow ochre. They call it earth yellow instead of yellow ochre. I mean, look at that. It's very ochre. It's super ochre. It's probably going to dry down and crack like most of the other ochres do when you put it in a pan. Okay, well, it's not. There's a little bit of binder separation. I'm just going to stir it a little bit. Just a little bit, not a lot. It wasn't an egregious amount like I've seen with some other paints. All right, now this one is transparent yellow, PY150. These are going to be a lot of fun to swatch, I think. A lot of fun. Okay, let's get some light on there so you can see these colors a little bit better. One of the things that I like about Paul Rubens paints is that there's a lot of clarity and color with them. Like I had those opera paints that you saw. Um, they're not light fast, and that's okay because they're just fun to paint with. I don't use them in things that I expect to last or to stay vibrant. I just paint things with them that are vibrant that I can look at for a little while and maybe scan and take pictures of and keep for later. Sorry, I had something to drink. But yeah, because I started out with watercolor with liquid watercolors, which are usually very vibrant, but also not super light fast. It was because I was doing the Let's Make Art boxes, and they send you, you know, little things of liquid watercolor. And they're great because you learn a lot of color mixing and you have a lot of fun with these tutorials that you follow. But I always struggled a little bit with them with the liquid because I couldn't control my paint to water ratio very well and I had trouble with values. And it wasn't until I started trying out some um, pan paints that I discovered that I actually enjoyed painting. But the first pan paints I had were um, the Winsor Newton Cotman, which are not very vibrant. So it was not fun. It was not fun to paint with at all. Um, I felt like I had more control over what I was doing, but it wasn't joyful. You know, there wasn't the color coming along with that. Enter Paul Rubens. And that's when I got this tin, and I've been able to have a lot of fun and have, you know, joyful painting with that. So this next one is chromium orange hue. That looks like it's PO62. Not as very liquidy, really liquidy, but it flows really well. So chromium orange hue. And then we've got transparent orange, Hue 71. So there's a lot of single pigment paints in this set. Really impressed with it so far. See how they dry down? Because I do like to work from dried paint palettes and not directly from the tube. So that was something that the first non-liquid watercolors were ones in tubes that were Sennelier La Petite Aquarelle. And like the first time that I used those, they were directly from the tube and they were real difficult for me to get used to using. And after they dried down, I found it was so much easier to use them. And I don't know, I felt like I could actually like do painting things like glazing and all of that. Okay, so cadmium red light. This is PR 108, so we're into the R's now. R. Oh no. You got started with the R's. I love that. It's so bright. You can't see it on camera. I wish this camera picked up the brightness. But it's just a real great orange. That is a fantastic orange. That's a fantastic red orange. There we go. And this is burnt sienna. You know what I have not been doing? I have not been writing the names of these on the sides here. So what was Indian yellow? Was this one? Yes. Okay. So the next one is earth yellow. I was just talking about each of them instead of writing them down. So let me catch up here because otherwise I'm going to lose all sorts of track of what I'm doing. And then this one was the transparent yellow. Then this next one here was the chromium orange hue. All right. Transparent orange. And then this last one that I just did, pull that one out. Cadmium red light. Okay, continue. All right, next color pulling from this direction is burnt sienna, which is a PR 101 and PBK 9. Oof, that's thick. Probably gonna crack when it dries down. That's fine. I don't like painting from a lump of paint. I like it to have kind of a flat-ish surface so I can make a little bit of a puddle in the well with my water and pull paint from there when I am pulling color out of a well to mix or paint from. I like to make a little puddle that my brush can access. All right, next one. Chiral Ruby Red. You know what I forgot to do again? Like I said, I'm going to have to call this Becky Forgets Things. I swear. I forgot to write it down. All right, Burnt Sienna. This is Chiral Ruby Red. Actually, I've got this. Let's write it down before I fill it. This is just PR 254. Look at that red. I really wish you guys could see what a great red this is. This is a fantastic red. It is bright. It is vibrant. I'm gonna paint some things with this red. All right. This is quinacridone rose. And that is PV19. Gorgeous. Son of a, all of my, okay, you know what? I can, the box that I was putting these back into fell over. So now I don't know what order they were in. But I'm gonna figure that out. I'm gonna figure out the order. Because it's important to me that they be in the right order. Okay, so here we go. There we go. Naples yellow, lemon yellow, cadmium yellow light, cadmium yellow medium, Indian yellow. No, that's earth yellow. Where's Indian yellow? Did I lose it? Hmm. There it is. Oh, that's earth. It's parent. This is it. Indian yellow. There we go. Now earth yellow. Chromium. No, transparent yellow. Then chromium orange hue. Transparent orange. Sorry about this. It's not. That's transparent orange. Then cadmium red light. There we go. Burnt sienna. Where's burnt sienna? What did I do with burnt sienna? Oh no. Oh no, I lost my burnt sienna. You know what? I will find it again. Oh, later? Is it over here? No. Find it again later after I put these away. Okay, so burnt sienna goes here. If I ever find it, and then Chiral Ruby Red and Quin Rose. All right. You guys are where I want you to be right now. I will find my burnt sienna later and continue this for now. This laid clans of mice and men. That's what this one is. So let's start writing. So let me tell you, maroon is one of my favorite colors. It's always been. It looks great on me. And I had a lot of maroon shirts. And then I moved to Texas, not just to Texas, but to Austin, which has a really healthy, um, I guess, rivalry with uh, another school here, another university, which is Texas A&M, and their colors are maroon. So I was wearing a maroon shirt to work, as you do, and people just were like, "Are you an Aggie?" I just didn't know how to answer that because I just really like maroon, and I'd never heard of an Aggie. I didn't know what an Aggie was. I was like, what the fuck is an Aggie, guys? It's a football team. It's another school. Anyway, and so I don't wear maroon very much anymore because I don't want to have to keep explaining to people that I just really like this color and I look terrible in burnt orange. It does nothing for my complexion. And I really, really don't care about your university. Anyway, that's my story about maroon. Let's move on. Venetian red. I know I'm gonna make some people mad by not caring much about UT, but it's just a school. It's just where people go to university. You don't want to. It's weird to me that people like base so much of their personality around where they went to school. It's just real weird to me. All right, so Venetian red. This is the next one. Like making liking tacos your personality. I enjoy tacos. I love tacos. I will taco about it all the time. But like, I will also do other things. I will eat other food. It's not just taco life, which is, again, I live in Austin, so. eh. But there's more to life than tacos, like chicken nuggets, painting. Right. Chicken nuggets and painting. All right. Indian red, that's the next one. I am actually really loving this so far, just with these colors. It's such a fiery colorway. My warm colors, it's beautiful. Indian red. Right. Indian red. This one's PR 101 and PR 206. I didn't look at the pigments for Venetian red or maroon because I was busy talking about football and tacos. And this is why making those things your entire personality is bad. Because then you miss important things like what pigment is this? I can fix that. PR 101, that's the Venetian red. PR 179, Perylene maroon. Or is it Perylene? I don't know how to pronounce this. And that's okay. So I don't think you should have to know how to pronounce everything. All right, let's move this into the corners. Get a nice flat layer. Oh, these are gonna be so pretty. And I'm really lucky that we are not having a super moist time right now. So it'll probably only be a couple of days for these to dry down. Because I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I live in Texas, in Austin, and sometimes it is real damn moist in here. So moist. All right. Phenacridone maroon. Yes. PV 42. Get me real pretty. Like, I would probably call this magenta rather than maroon, but that's just me. And it is a gorgeous magenta, and you can't see how gorgeous and vibrant this magenta is on my camera, but I can see it. I can see it, folks. Maybe I will adjust my light settings for the next video because I'm looking at it on my screen and it's just not as great as this. Such a good color. I will take a picture. Quinacridone Violet. That is PV19. So it is. There we go. Fill that well up. And that is going to be a really, really gorgeous fuchsia color. All right. Gonna move these over here. And now we can start with these. All right. It's the order that I set them in. There's some really great blues in this set. I love a good blue. I'm glad we've got like several purples. We've got like this violet, and then we've got a blue violet and a dioxazine violet. Both of them in here. A lot of good greens, some that we can do some mixing with. I am excited about the cobalt turquoise. We've also got translucent turquoise. So great. Berlin blue. I wonder if that's like Prussian blue. We will find out when I actually get to swatching, which will be on another day. After these are dried down. Let's get my tape out and put tape on the edges of this. I'm going to do it off screen because it's easier for me to hold this and not have it slip out of my hands and land on the table and crack open and break, because that would be just a real fun way to have this video go, isn't it? Anyway, I like porcelain palettes and mixing areas. I've tried with plastic and I don't enjoy it as much. I've also used metal, like a butcher tray, metal in some of these with the metal mixing areas. It's actually taken a little while for me to wear it down enough that it stopped beading. I used magic eraser to scrub it so that it wouldn't bead so much. It's just a lot of work to go through to prepare a surface to mix with when like the ceramic is ready to go. And you never have to like prepare it. You don't have to scrub it. You don't have to do any of that stuff, and it doesn't stain. Not easily. All right, now we have the dioxazine violet as the first one that we're going to be loading into this, and it is PV23. Let me write that down here. I'm the only one that has to be able to read. As long as I can read it, that'll be fine. I love it when watercolor is so... full of pigment that it looks black in the pan. And then you go to paint with it, and it is just colorful. You can't even see that. See? Cool. This is a really, really great blue purple. Love it for me. Then we've got brilliant blue violet. I'm gonna go right here. Again, this one is, it looks black in the pan, but when you go to paint with it, you can grab a, and it looks blue on my camera, but it is so purple in real life. Ugh, ugh, ugh. They're two different purples, but they look blue on my camera. I really need to adjust my color settings. Sorry about that, guys. I will have better color settings for the next video. I promise. I need a new toothpick because those are very yellow and red, and I am putting into blues and greens now. I'm just trying to get this into the corners. Toothpick. All right. I didn't write that down, did I? See, Becky forgetting things. Brilliant blue violet. I'm just so in love with colors, and I get so easily distracted by things like brilliant blue violet. I wonder if adding a light would help with. No, I'm not going to mess with that. We're going to just finish this up, put this together, and then I will fix my color on my camera when it's time to do swatching, because that's when it'll really matter. French blue, KB29, surprise, surprise. I wonder why they call it French blue and not ultramarine. Because it is still ultramarine. You know, some brands have like French ultramarine. It's still PB29. We will see when I swatch it if it does the granulating. It probably will. We'll find out. PB60, that is the Indenthrone. Yes, Indenthrone. Just making sure there's no extra vowels in there. Indenthrone blue. I don't think that I have painted with this color before, so I'm excited to try that out. PB 70, I think, was the 60, not 70. PB 60 pigment. And I'm going to be writing pigments on the outsides when this is dried for my edification and when I do my swatch charts. Oh, that's going to be really nice to pink, I think. Right, now we've got Berlin Blue, which I'm guessing is more like Russian. It's PB 27. A little bit of off-gassing there. That is very thick. I'm just going to push it in corners. Air bubbles out. All of these, they look so dark in the pan. Not so dark when you mix them with water, though. Azure Blue, this is PW4 and PB15-3. Hard to see the PW in that. That looks really nice when you paint out with it. This is PB28. It is Cobalt Blue Light. There's no Cobalt Blue Dark in this set. Wait, guess what I forgot to do again? You guessed it. I forgot to write down the names of the colors on the outside of these. This is very thick watercolor paint. Incredibly viscose. Yeah. Please do. Written in. Where's my pen? Cobalt Blue Light. Over here. Cobalt Blue Light. That's what this one was. The other one before that was Azure Blue. Azure Blue. All right, now translucent turquoise. This is PB16. I love turquoise as a color. It is one of my faves. Turquoise always reminds me of my grandma. She used to wear turquoise jewelry all the time. Uh, she born and raised in Arizona, so she just loved turquoise jewelry. Right. Cobalt turquoise. That is why it always reminds me of my grandma. And this looks exactly like turquoise. That is the right name for that color. And this is PB28, by the way. Same pigment as the cobalt light blue. Totally different color. I love that about these pigments, is that you can have the same pigment, different color. So cool. Science. Fold you in half so I can use the other side. There we go. This one is Cobalt Turquoise Dark, PG 26. Oh boy, this is really hard to squeeze out. That is thick with a two C's. Run that out a little more into the corners. Bigger than a Snicker, that's for sure. Ah, think what I'm forgetting to do again. It's Cobalt Turquoise. I love that this set has like three different turquoises with the translucent turquoise, which is kind of phthalo-ish, cobalt turquoise, and then this cobalt turquoise dark or deep. What was that? Dark. Cobalt turquoise dark. Look at me remembering to write things down. I am going to lose my light pretty soon. That's okay, because I am almost done. I just have to go around this next corner. So we've got Oriental Green, that is PG7. We all know what that's going to look like when we swatch it out. But I'm going to swatch it anyway because I like this color. It is a fun color to paint with. It's a fun color to mix with. And it does really cool things. Yeah. Nice. Green that's so piney. It always reminds me of pine cones, this color. Which color was that? Oriental green. I am not the one who came up with this name. It was the company, Paul Rubens, which is a Chinese company. And if anyone's going to get to call something Oriental, it's going to be that. I'm not going to complain about it. All right, so we got sap green. That is PY 153 and PG 7. Like having convenience greens like this sometimes. Like, mind mixing. I love color mixing. Sometimes you want to spend less time mixing and more time painting. I will absolutely do limited palette challenges though. Because I mean, like I said, I started out with Let's Make Art and they would send you like 5 colors and that was it for the entire month and like all 4 projects. So you'd have projects that included greens, had no green in the box, and you had like 5 different greens and grays and browns, and all you were using was like a blue and maybe a pink or something, and it was really fun, and like maybe an orange instead of a yellow. And you'd have all sorts of different colors that you could use from that. I learned a lot about color mixing from subscribing to them and from doing their things. May green. Wait, no. That green. May green is the next one. All right. Zap green. I'm going to write it down here because I've got it right in front of me. May green. This May green, it looks like it's going to be one of those nice yellowy greens. I love those. Yeah. Nice light yellowy green. It's light springtime. It's just fun, gorgeous growing things with this. New leaf buds. Now we've rounded the corner. Time for some olive green. Olive green. Now I noticed that they don't have a Payne's gray in here, which is fine because you can mix them. They do have an indigo, so maybe that plus Daxazine purple or something might make a good Payne's gray. We will find out because I am gonna be painting with these. Hey, olive green. Get you in your little home. Oh, this was a messy cap, messy tube. Gonna need to clean this one off before I put my lid on. All right. It's got this. Just gonna dip it in some water real quick. Messy tube. Let's get this out of the. You know what? Play a little bit. Why not? It's a great olive green. Look at that. Pulling pigment out of the cap so that I can close this without it cementing itself shut the next time I want to open it. Yeah. Wrangling. That's all we're doing today, paint wrangling. It's a great olive green. It is. It's a great olive green. I like it. I like it. Next one, olive green dark. This is PG 26 and PG 7. Did I read the pigment information for this olive green? I don't think I did. Let's look at that. PO 62 and PG 36. Oh, that's PO62 on that one too. PO62 and PG7. It's the chromium orange hue. That's the PO62. So it's this one plus the other greens. All right, so this is the dark one. Dark. So if I wanted to, I could mix olive greens with the orange and the greens that I have. And it's very convenient to have one that's already mixed. Green, dark. And this one is a lot thicker and it is not making a mess in the truck. Grab that new toothpick here because those are all very dirty toothpicks. Smooth this out in here. There we go. All right, 3 more to go. And then my palette will be complete. And we're friends. An entire 36 color palette right there. I'm very excited about this. I'm very happy that I did. I went ahead and bought these. I was not going to. I kept looking at it and being like, well, got other things I can spend my money on. I don't need to buy these. But I'm very happy that I did because it brings me a lot of joy and I am going to have a lot of fun painting with these, I think. All right, indigo. Indigo. I'm also glad that I went ahead and splurged on getting myself these palettes. They will be very useful. I can use my small metal palettes for more, sorry, let's look at these. I'm getting ahead of myself. PB15-1 and PB66 for indigo. That's gonna be fun to use. That should make some really fun grays. You know? Ivory black. That is just PBK9. Last one. This is a brown. And it abuts right next to the yellow, so it should continue nicely. A little circle. Brown umber. We've got a lot of good earth tones, I think, in this palette. Brown umber and some of the reds. There's some good earth tone reds over there. Some good ochres over here. So you've got like the maroons and these other ones over there. That'll be nice to play with. And this Looks like it is 3 pigments. It is PB15-1, PBR7, and PBK9. All right. So now I have my palette all set up. I am going to go cover these and let them dry over on the next to the window. And then when I'm ready to swatch, I will get out a swatch sheet and you guys can do that with me. But in the meantime, I have filled up my Paul Rubens palette. I hope you had a good time with me and are having a real relaxing weekend because I know I am. And I will talk to you later. Bye.